Hey guys, Sean Lentz here from Appalachian DIY. Welcome back to the Foundation Repair series. Today is finally lift day. We're going to be talking about three things that we're going to be doing today. The first being a minor problem with our floor joists. Some of them are different heights and we need to address that before we do our lift. Secondly, I'm going to show you guys how to build some cribbing. We're going to be sticking a hydraulic floor jack on that to assist us with our lift. What that hydraulic jack is going to do is it's going to do most of the legwork for our lift. Instead of using the floor jacks to screw around, which can get really tight, we're going to do most of the lifting power with that hydraulic jack. Thirdly, we have a really bad sag in our floor by the steps. So we're going to take that out as we lift the house. And what we're looking to do as we lift the house is only lift it about 1/2 inch from our floor joist and our foundation wall and get that 1/2 inch separation. That way we know that we are carrying all of the load of the house on the beams and the floor jack. So we have a lot planned today, so let's get to it. The next thing that we need to address is our joist height. These are old timber frame joists, which means that they were just rough sawn at a sawmill. The problem with that is they're not all the exact same dimensions. This joist right here is 9 3/8 and this one right here is 8 5/8. That's an 1.25 inch difference, just one joist apart. So if we were to go ahead and not fix that and start jacking this up, we would have an 1.25 inch deflection in this beam by pushing this jack up in to catch this joist. So that's going to be a huge problem. We need to fix that before we go any further. So what we're going to do is I have a hardwood piece here, a hardwood block, and we are going to sandwich that underneath between our beam and our joist. The reason I use hardwood is because it won't compress as much and it will be a lot more stable to shim underneath this. So this is probably the worst case scenario right here. With an 1.25 inch. There are some other joists that have about 1/4 inch to maybe 1/2 inch of gap in between, and we're just going to take shims from either side and kind of build that up a little bit. Hardwood is the best. If you can't get that, then just shim really well with a softer wood. But we need to make sure that we shim these up so our load is carried evenly with our beam. The next thing that we need to address is the sag that we have in our floor. To measure that, we have a self-leveling laser set up, and we're going to measure from the subfloor down. We're not going to use the bottom of the joist because remember, they're all different. So we're going to take a measurement here, and we are at 9.5. Go all the way down here, and we're at 11.25. So we have an 1.75 inch drop in our floor right here. So this is the lowest point. So what we're going to do is we're going to build our cribbing directly underneath this and start jacking up right here on this beam. The beam next to it, we're just going to follow after with our floor jack. It's going to be a little bit easier to use our hydraulic jack. It's not going to be as hard to spin these things around because you're lifting a lot of weight with that. So with getting our cribbing under here and using a hydraulic jack, it's going to be a lot easier. Plus you guys get to see how to build it. So this is where we're going to be building our cribbing, right next to our floor jack here. We have our sister beam over here and our sister floor jack. So that is just going to follow us up as we jack this up. We'll take a couple jacks with the jack and cribbing, and we'll just follow along with this floor jack on the other side. So the base of our cribbing is extremely important. So I have a concrete foundation over here, then the rest is dirt. So what we're going to do is I have leveled it off, put bricks down, and I shimmed them up so that it is level because the floor is kind of uneven under here. So we want our cribbing to be as level as possible from side to side. So make sure that you level it off this way and also front and back, because the higher you go, the more exaggerated that lean is going to be. So do your best to make sure that your cribbing is perfectly level and has a good base to sit on. And all we're going to do is just kind of link and log it. We're going to lay 2 and then 1 on either side, and then just build up to that until we can get a platform for our jack to sit on. So we have our cribbing built all the way to the top. So for our top layer, we just went ahead and built a deck of 4x4s on top of this. And what we can do to help distribute the weight even more is to put a piece of sheet steel underneath this. The thicker the better, because it's not going to deflect on you. And then for the top of our jack, I just have a 1/2-inch plate for a hydraulic press. And we're just going to stick that on top. That's going to help to distribute the load onto our beam, so that cylinder doesn't punch a hole through our beam right here. So now all we need to do is just jack this up. One quick thing on your cribbing, the best thing to have is hickory boards. They're the most stable. That's what the pros use to lift houses and stuff. Right now we are using just pine 2x4s, or 4x4s, excuse me. And that's what we are going to be lifting this with. It's not ideal by any means because it's a softer wood. Hardwoods are best, so you can even use something like oak or even maple, but that's pretty expensive. So we are not using this as a permanent support. We still have our floor jacks here, and we're going to be following after. I would definitely not use pine to do your full lift and leave stuff set on this, because that can get pretty dangerous then, because it could fail and you have nothing like a floor jack next to it, if that would be the case. So selection of species, hickory's the best, pine not so good, but it's what we have right now. And we have safety precautions to follow us up as we go and do our lift. So let's go ahead and start jacking up on this. What I have done is we have our laser level set up, and we had a start point for us. For reference, we measured down our 1 3/4 inches, and we just have a stop line down here. And we have 1/4 inch increments. That way we can track how far we are going. So right there we are at 1/8 of an inch. So what we're going to do is we are going to go around and snug up all of our floor jacks. Okay, then we can just jack up again. Okay, right there is our 1/4 inch mark, so we've moved a total of a 1/4 inch. You can kind of hear things creaking around. It sounds a little eerie and stuff, but take it nice and slow and make sure you just lift it up easy. Everything will kind of settle back down, and just make sure that you're following with your floor jacks. So all we're doing is we're just taking this up in 1/8 inch increments, following behind. That seems to be doing the best. So you can probably hear it. You got some creaking sounds going on and stuff. That's fine. It's normal. Everything's just going to kind of settle back in. Again, just take it nice and slow. All right, we're about a half an hour into it. We have raised the floor a total of 1 inch. So right now we had a little bit of an issue. The really bad cracking and popping we heard was from that failed joist that we showed you in the walk around and planning video. So we went and repositioned our beam and floor jacks to better support that, and what was happening is we weren't really following after, and we were just kind of like lifting up on this end, and it was splitting the board even more. So we're gonna have to follow along with this support in the back also to kind of help raise it, because it is failed joist. It definitely won't take a lot of load. That crack's getting really bad. So we repositioned this. We're at 1 inch here, so we're just going to keep following along, and make sure that you're running down through the entire length of your beam. Because we had this one here, we weren't really following after. We were paying attention to these two, and this got pretty loose. So make sure you're running down the whole line. We have the middle one on our 10-foot beam. That one was starting to lift just by lifting these two and the floor jack here. So we need to lift that end anyway, but make sure that you're just following closely behind with your floor jacks. And what we're doing is we are tightening these things to where they are extremely snug. It takes a great effort to snug it up, and then we just kind of let it go, and then come back to our hydraulic jack, come up 1/8 of an inch, and just follow back behind. That way it's just kind of helping this point of load lift evenly. So we're not using this entirely. We are also using our floor jacks just to kind of stabilize it and bring everything back into level. So we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna try and get the rest of our 3/4 inch today. Just kind of going nice and slow and making sure that everything is snugged up. All right, so we are to our 1 3/4. We have met at our stop line here on our left beam and also our right. So right now we are going to release the jacks, the hydraulic jacks, and just let this set for maybe at least a day, maybe 2, and make sure that we don't get any settling with our floor jacks, because again, we are on soil foundation on this side of the house, so we might get some settling and compaction because there's a ton, literally tons of weight on there. So we'll just let that go, make marks on our beam just to make sure everything is where it needs to be, and just go on from there then. That's it for this video, the actual lifting of this. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button. Head over to Appalachian DIY for more videos, because we have a lot more foundation repair coming up. Thanks again, guys, and I hope to see you next time.